And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports War. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
And we are back, baby. Let's go. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Port. And we really do have the full crew in the house. Michael at the desk. I don't even remember the last time.
Dude, together, I don't know.
Tony on the other side of the glass. And Renee, once again, from the couch, riled up, itching to go to Yankee Stadium. You could just see it on her face.
Oh, 100%.
But we'll start with you, sir. How you doing, Tony?
Good, dude. Excited for this Friday. You know, nice, cool day out there. Hot in the studio, but that's fine. Excited to be here with you guys. Opening day, big recap. Let's go.
What a time of year. There's just
great thumbnail,
so
Tony.
much to talk about. Matt's going to be here in a couple minutes, but we know where we got to start. The world of Major League Baseball.
What a play! Stop it, Tony. Yep. And Alonso cracks one of the Mets win the ball game. Out of sight.
And it works at 100 miles an hour. 14 strikeout.
Too deep to left field. There it goes. See ya.
I have to say that is the best intro video I've ever seen. So whoever was involved with that one.
Dude. You liked it better than the last one?
They just keep getting better.
Wow.
Who do I owe credit to? I know obviously you were involved.
Tony.
Yeah.
Tony solely.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and you sent me some plays.
Okay,
So
right.
pat yourself on the back.
No, but excellent job, seriously.
Thanks, dude.
That video is awesome. That's what it's all about. And also, just like to give a special shout out to our loyal listeners who are here day in, day out. My mother's always asking me to send her the link. She's so excited to see what we have to say. My dad just had me text me the link. Shokery, my sister Jennifer, they're here day in and day out.
We aim to please.
And it just we love it. Indigo,
yeah,
always
she's great.
Here.
Prefer In and Out. Wish we could see it more consistent.
It's just the best, and we really appreciate it. And we want as much feedback as possible. We want to bring you guys every single thing that you were looking for. But listen, I mean, I got the jersey on. Yesterday's opening day. How could we not start?
I got the Yankees. We have 4 TVs back here. Cheers was playing on one of them, but 3 of the 4 TVs behind Barnes is Yankees.
Mm-hmm.
I've been listening to Yankees all morning, getting ready for your appearance, dude.
I mean, unbelievable. And what a day yesterday. And, I think it's easy because I get it. And I agree that it's just ridiculous, in terms of tickets, how opening day, they mark it up 40% or whatever. And you think, okay, so between that, it's cold. You could go to the next game for less money. But I have to say, going to opening day, was only my second opening day. I had went to one actually in Judge's rookie season back in 2017. There really is nothing like it for a regular season game. It feels like a playoff game. The atmosphere was through the roof, and it had been a while too since I had done a tailgate. That was
How
awesome.
was that, dude? Tell us about that. Tell us about the food.
It definitely special shout out to Eric Pusey. He's the one who got the tickets together, gets the group together every year. He's a loyal LA Barnaby customer as well.
Nice.
So, we really appreciate
Scratch
that.
his back. He scratches your back.
Exactly.
Matt scratches my back a lot.
He scratches more than that, I
but
heard.
there was so much food yesterday. I mean, you guys saw it on the show. And if anybody missed yesterday's episode, definitely run it back. But they were pumping out Bloody Marys, and however they did the Bloody Marys. Tony,
what was it called,
yeah, Tony? You were big on that. yesterday.
Flambeing.
He was saying it all day, Barnes.
So if anybody doesn't understand that,
Let's go.
Matthew's in the building. But could you just kind of run over that again?
You want me to explain what a flambe is?
Yeah.
So from my understanding, right, when you flambe something, typically, you don't often, I guess, flambe your stuff for your Bloody Mary. You know, you see a lot of professional chefs do it in the pan where they add some alcohol, and they light it on fire, they flambe it. So I would imagine he was flambeing. It seemed like bacon, right, for the Bloody Mary.
Yes.
So same. He was. I mean, when we saw him, he was just like torching that shit on fire.
Yeah.
Gets that nice crispy outside. Oh, dude.
I mean,
I want to flambe myself later.
And that was really just the start of it. My personal favorite, I have to say, out of everything was outstanding, but and you guys saw it on yesterday's show, the French toast sticks with the bourbon. That was ridiculous. I said on the air,
dude.
you would eat the
Bourbon,
whole
dude.
tray.
Yeah.
I mean, it was that good.
Yes.
I believe we have some YouTube and Facebook comments.
Dude,
so
we have a
if you
lot of
would.
comments here. Jay Bird at 10:07 said, "I'm waiting."
Wow.
And then Renee comes in with the "Let's go." And then finally, Jay Bird says, "Hey, what's good?" And then Donna Barnaby says, "Thanks, Brian. Always a great show.
Always.
Perfect shirt, Brian."
Hey, I mean, is it not a perfect shirt, Michael?
No.
It is. It's a jersey, though.
But no, that's great
Oh,
stuff. And I was
that's
just
so
saying
rude,
too,
Mike.
you know, besides the French
I
toast,
channeled you.
they did sausage and bacon, egg, and cheeses
Oh.
on fresh Portuguese rolls. They had steak, they had burgers, they had wings, they had sausages.
Jay wants to know
it
where the
was-
champagne and caviar was.
No champagne and
I
caviar,
don't even know
but
who
I
that
mean,
is.
champagne I'll dabble with. Caviar, no thank you. No thank you at all.
I don't think I've ever really had it, dude.
And
Matt.
I just want, do we have Matt in right now? Or are you hooked up? I don't, Tony, do we got him?
We got,
Can you hear
Yeah,
me?
we got
Can you hear me, buddy?
So good to have you here, buddy.
It's good to be here, dude. Tradition's back, dude.
Yeah.
wow, dude.
Yeah.
St. Patty's was
No.
the last one, dude. Tradition.
Let's go, man. But
Michael.
yeah, it just worked out so perfectly that, you know, it's Friday and it happens to be the first day following
This
a
is
Yankee
fucking sick.
opener.
And
What a
the
time for you to be here.
96 World Series video is on.
Yeah.
What's this one? up
That's
here?
the 98.
This is unbelievable, dude.
The
This is so
Jeter's
sick.
behind Barnes.
You got Jeter behind me. I almost knocked him over earlier.
Let's go, dude. This is so
Um,
sick.
But yeah, I was just saying, so great job with the tailgate. In terms of the, you know, atmosphere in the stadium, it was unbelievable. And I think I really, you know, you could figure this, and it's the same with the playoffs. Kind of tough. You know, I was able to get some good spots, but I had to kind of, you know, move around a little bit. Standing room on a sold out crowd, you're not gonna, especially if you want to like get up,
Dude,
come back,
yeah.
you can't do it.
You were saying you couldn't even like see it.
No, but luckily I found some good spots. I was by 110 right before you go down
were
the
you
stairs.
a traveling man? Like, do you have to
Yeah. No, I was between there and then right field, angled and on top of the bleacher. So looking down,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
where I took that pano picture. That was actually a really, really good view. So that's what I would recommend. If you're going to go to opening day in the future or playoff games, try to get a seat, just because, you know, you're guaranteed that seat versus, you know, having to really make sure your spot isn't taken. But so it was nice seeing a couple different viewpoints for sure. The atmosphere was just through the roof. And like I said, it really felt like a playoff game. So many good points to get to, so many things to be impressed about. And I think the first thing that I have to say, and we said this when we were going over the game, you know, on the show yesterday, Garrett Cole stepping up. I mean, in a huge way. I believe that was an opening day record for
yeah,
strikeouts,
yeah.
right? 14 Ks.
Wow.
I mean, Tony,
Dude,
you had to be pretty
that's a
impressed
lot.
at Cole
To get a
coming out
day,
like
dude?
that first start, 14 strikeouts, no runs allowed.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I think, you know, Cole's been doubted a lot, especially, you know, with his performance in the playoffs and you know, some of the clunkers he had last season to come out pretty hot like this. Especially I feel like for him, you know, there wasn't like a lot of juice, I think, surrounding him in the offseason. You know,
Right.
a lot of it was honestly more towards fucking, I'm blanking on his name right now.
On the Yankees,
Yeah.
Rodon.
Yeah, Rodon. And I just feel like, you know, Garrett Cole is kind of almost pushed to the side a little bit.
Side?
Yeah, you don't think so? I mean, I think not a lot of people were talking about it.
I feel like he was talking about more
Right.
last year because of the whole sticky
Yeah,
stuff. And
yeah,
now
definitely,
This year,
dude.
there really wasn't that much.
Yeah, it wasn't
Mr.
like,
Spider-Man, basically.
And
That's what you're
basically.
saying.
Sure,
and he
yeah.
answered the bell in the playoffs last year, so I think that was a little
Yeah,
monkey
that-
off
dude,
his back.
100%. He's picking up where he left off yesterday from the
But
playoffs.
yeah, you know, usually too, you know, a pitcher's first start, like we saw Alex Manoah get lit up yesterday. Even these really good pitchers, I know Dylan Cease pitched well,
Mhm.
but it's like usually they're going to struggle, and he did not struggle in any way possible. You know, around first pitch, I think it was about 41 degrees. So for him to give them 6 strong innings, 14 strikeouts, take the pressure off the offense, even though, as we saw yesterday, Judge first at bat as a captain, a bomb to center field. And I mean, the crack of the bat for that to be, in March and 40-degree weather, for him to get it out that far into center field, I was just so impressed. And it really was a significant home run. It seemed like it was like marking the start of Aaron Judge being captain of the Yankees and being a lifelong Yankee. And you really just can't beat that.
Dude, it's sick. We were saying yesterday, it's the beginning of a new era in Yankee history, dude. It's the first year of the Judge contract. Volpe's up to start. It's just a new beginning.
Yeah,
it feels good. It feels really dope. Cole, nasty. The first 7 outs that the Giants had were strikeouts.
Oh yeah,
they didn't even put the ball in play until the third inning.
He was so fired up, and it's like that's the pitcher that we wanted when we brought him over in the first place. It reminded me
maybe
of
it was the haircut, dude.
Maybe. And it reminded me of watching him when he was on Houston, being like,
yeah,
is anybody better than this guy?
Like in the zone.
It was like the best pitcher I've ever seen. Watching him in the playoffs. I want to say it was 2018.
Everything went well yesterday. Judge hitting the home run at first at bat. It's just insane.
Oh yeah,
I mean, that's just nuts. Opening day, first year of the deal. After last year, dude, setting the record.
Right.
And then hitting a home run first at bat on opening day. That's insane.
And
That's
some of the other highlights, obviously, the Giants didn't claw anything together offensively. So the Yankee pitching really stepping up and keeping them at bay. They only had 4 hits all day.
It was nice to see fucking those guys come back. Marinaccio, how are you?
Yeah, Marinaccio going 2 strong at the end. You had Wandy and Loizaga in for a cup of coffee, doing their job, but just showing that they're going to be reliable relievers for this team this year. And as far as the offense, it was really nice to see, there's been a lot of trade rumors with Glaber, but for him to hit that 2-run homer in the bottom of the 4th inning, really creating some separation, really taking the pressure off Garrett Cole, that at that point he didn't need to be perfect, but he would be anyway.
What was that like, dude, in the stadium when Glaber went yard?
Oh, everybody was so pumped? Fired up. And just kind of patting at Glaber Torres when he's hitting the ball to the opposite field. That's when he's at his best.
100%.
So that was great. And then to see DJ LeMahieu get that single there in the 7th, that was the trademark DJ hit. Really, if you think about like 2019 DJ, 2020 DJ, when he's hitting 360 in the shortened season, making contact with runners on, that's what makes him so valuable. So it was nice to see him come up big. And then for Judge to come up with an RBI single there in the 7th. And that was after Jose Trevino ripped a single. I mean, it was really like, wow, that's the Jose Trevino that we were all excited about in the first half of last year when he was making good contact, coming up with big hits. So that made it 5-0. That was the final mark. Really, the Giants did not threaten the Yankee pitching at all. You look at the stat line. So Cole was 6 innings, 3 hits, 2 walks, 11 strikeouts. And then you had Wandy Peralta, 2/3 of an inning, 1 hit, 2 strikeouts. You had Loizaga pitch a third of an inning, get only 2 pitches. So you didn't need him for much. And I thought it was interesting that they went with Marinaccio for 2 innings, 39 pitches, threw over 27 strikes, had 3 strikeouts, and just the 1 walk was the only blemish there on the top of the 9th inning. But I guess my thought process was they figured that they'll have a pretty well-rested bullpen for tomorrow's game, being off today. He only had 14 pitches out of Peralta, 2 pitches out of Loizaga, so they could easily go tomorrow. Marinaccio will be off, but then you have a well-rested Michael King and Clay Holmes, so that sets you up well with Clark Schmidt getting the start in that one. I'm just kind of curious, though, Tony, Matt, and Mike, were you guys surprised at all that they extended Marinaccio for that 2nd inning?
No. Are you kidding me?
Just because he was rolling?
Yeah.
I mean,
we've seen such great spots from him, I feel like, last season. I think he kind of proved himself then. And what is he, like 25, right?
Yeah.
Tom's River, New Jersey, dude. Another, type of young guy coming through the New Jersey pipeline there.
All these local guys.
Yeah. Lifelong Yankee fan. Obviously, seeing him succeed for that first inning, you probably would know firsthand. Fans riled. Again, I feel like he kind of has this lore around him as well from last season.
Right.
I mean, the people love him, dude, and he's still continuing to step up. Like, let's go, dude.
And there's nothing like a guy coming through the system, seeing him develop. And like Jonathan Loizaga is the same way, and especially too because when he first came up, he didn't really do well as a starter, but we've seen his value as a setup guy the last couple of years. And the Yankees, I feel like, we think about the Cleveland Indians, the way they've developed, their, starter pitching over the year. And I feel like the Yankees are a factory for relief pitchers. It's really nice that we have that because every year we had a new guy.
When we were younger too, the bullpen was always the problem.
Paul
They never had a
Quantrill
good,
getting,
they never had a good bullpen.
Steve
dude.
Carsey.
Yeah,
I mean, just
brutal.
to name a couple people. You think about Vizcaíno as well. And a lot of times too, like Mike Stanton, he came back the second time. It's like they would be really good with us initially, but Joe Torre, I think his one fault was he would really pitch them too many innings. And the next
he always
year,
would let guys
there would
go
be nothing
for a
left.
while.
There would literally be nothing left.
Jay Bird shouting out Jersey, baby, in the comments. He says.
Jersey.
Also, Dinah
Renee,
Barnaby.
Jersey.
I forget what she's referring to, but she says invite them to the mom's trip. She's taking this mom's trip.
No,
very
because the
seriously,
mother's
dude.
trip. They
Right,
all the
and
mothers.
she's talking about maybe the tailgate that we just had. I think she wants in on the tailgate.
Yeah.
I was actually
The
talking to her
flambe.
on the phone before. She was very impressed with the spread and just,
Nice.
what a good job. that they
Is
did.
your mother a
Yeah.
Bloody Mary fan?
No. She's like your tropical type of drink, maybe a
Pina
white
colada.
wine.
Oh, a
Pina
colada,
colada. I would
dude.
say if I had to say Miami Vice or pina colada would be your favorite drink.
Yo,
There you
pina
go.
coladas are so good.
Oh,
it's good,
dude.
two good options.
Yeah.
Fucking slam those like nothing, dude.
100%.
And so will Donna Barnaby, apparently.
No, just a couple.
You and Donna can have a couple drinks, huh?
Yeah, nothing too crazy there, but overall, yeah, it was such a great day, and we talk all the time about like setting the tone, and you really felt like that's what the Yankees did yesterday. It's such a long off season. I was saying it on my Instagram stories.
You guys all right over there?
Dude,
6
the Yankees,
months
man, got me emotional.
is such a long time to be off. And I was even saying this to my dad earlier today, where it's like, you know that you love it. You love seeing every game. But I think
you
yesterday,
love it. Dude.
Yesterday, you really get that sense is, wow, I really was missing this. This is really just to a whole nother level versus any other type of sporting event. The
It's
absolute
so sick,
best.
dude. It is the best.
So
The weather, the bull, the golf.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Have it all.
So that was awesome. And
Where are you, Tony?
Volpe got a couple, ovations yesterday. The fans, really chanting his name, trying to get him to do like the turnaround. But I think the play happened, he wasn't able to do it, and it was nice to be there to see him get his first career stolen base. And I'm sure he'll get his first career hit in the next game or two. But it was just awesome to be out there to see him. But all in all, just a great day, a great way to start this season, and I am just so excited. And I know too, Michael, I heard you on the broadcast yesterday. You were saying we've brought you back to your love of baseball.
Oh, let's go, dude.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
No,
He
Michael's
knows it.
in, dude.
I love it. I
He's
said I
full-fledged.
would go to 10. You guys said over under 10
Right.
games. I said 10, but it has to
10
be a
total.
combo.
Right.
Of, like,
Yeah, like a-
Yankees,
like a-
Mets, go to a
Yeah.
fucking Cleveland game or something.
Can't
I
be
don't
the
know.
same thing each
I
time.
just said Cleveland. I don't
You want
know.
to go out to Cleveland? For
No,
a game.
I don't. Miami, maybe.
See
Yeah.
Mets Marlins for Tony.
I'd love that.
We
dude.
all
Mets,
want to up our counts
yeah.
on stadiums. We were
Yeah,
you guys
no,
were talking
dude,
about
yeah,
that
yeah.
yesterday,
12.
too.
He's
Yeah.
been to 12 stadiums.
Yeah, prove it.
But I'm sure we'll check some more off the list.
No, I'm super excited for this season. It's going to be fun.
The
It's
one
gonna
thing
be
that's annoying, and before we get over to the Mets here, I know Tony is dying to talk about the Mets, but
If
New
any, of you,
York
if, any,
Mets.
if any of you talk while I'm talking about the Mets, I'm leaving. Okay?
But I get it because of the whole
Calm
ticket
down, dude.
scenario, the potential of rain, but it is really annoying that they have to have an off day today. And like all the teams are doing it. It's not
I
the
didn't
Yankees
even realize that
solely.
until you just said that.
But I understand. But any solution, guys, to like, let's
Come
say
on.
yesterday was rained out.
What do you think?
How would you handle the ticket situation today? What's the best way to go about it?
Just
as
everybody go.
an organization, what do you mean?
Yeah,
Or as
because-
if we were going as a,
No,
as
but
a
I'm
crew.
saying, let's say they go no built-in off day. I'm asking about like the Yankees, the best way to go about it. So no built-in off day. Yesterday gets rained out. How do you handle tickets for today's game? I'm saying that's why they have the scheduled off day.
Okay, so you're saying there's a scheduled off day because of rain, just in case.
Right, because
But if it was back to back, you're saying the scenario you're laying down is if it's back to back games like today, like yesterday, today.
well, yeah, because you either have to boot the guy, the fans that have tickets for today, or the opening day folks can go to another game, but they're not getting the same value as they would because opening day tickets are more expensive.
Opening day.
Yeah, but technically,
give them,
if
playoff
opening,
tickets.
if opening,
Take
if opening
the
day was
chance with opening
delayed,
day,
though, dude.
Say that again.
Well, but if an opening day was delayed, it still technically is like an opening day.
Right, but then I'm saying but the people who had tickets for yesterday, let's say there's a scheduled game for
Right.
today,
Mhm.
where do they use their tickets?
I mean, it's
Playoffs.
a tough question. Do you just push everyone back one?
Playoffs.
Can't do that, dude.
Right?
Doubleheader today.
Double
Game 1, game
Doubleheader.
2, dude.
That is actually true. A double header. Yeah, I didn't think about that. That probably is the way to go. Because if you look at the schedule today, all the teams that are playing are either in good weather or
Right.
they have retractable roofs.
Wow, dude.
But no, I'm just saying
Wow,
it's
dude.
exciting. You have opening day, and then it's like, oh yeah, we only have 3-4 games today. You know, it's just it is
I know, it's
annoying. You want to
annoying,
keep
dude.
it going. That's all
Sorry,
I'm
dude,
saying.
I mean, the
do.
Rangers are playing
Exactly,
tonight, so
Barnes.
it's fine, dude.
That's solid. That is
Yeah.
solid. Give a
Yeah.
little consolation there.
Yeah,
Hey.
but like we want to watch the Yankees.
No,
you know?
of course.
Also, I mean,
Of course.
Mets are playing too. You can watch the Mets too.
Are-
That's good.
oh,
I'm
right,
ha-
yeah,
Tony,
'cause-
I'm happy for you about that.
Yeah, that is true. You
'Cause
do
we're a real team.
you do get that.
Dude.
We're just
Wow,
gonna
stop,
ignore
dude.
a comment like
Oh,
that,
you
but
missed it.
we will
What,
let
Andy? With
Tony
the glove?
break
No.
down the
Michael, that was a
Mets
great Andy Pettit impersonation. the other
5-3
day, too, dude.
victory
Oh, with that
over the
glove?
Marlins
Yeah.
yesterday. But before you actually do that, because I didn't read into this, I just got the notification. What's going on with Verlander placed on the injured list yesterday?
Yeah, dude. So, shoulder strain here. They actually released specifically what part of the shoulder was this morning. It's
Terry's
quite
major.
what? No,
Terry's major.
no, I don't think so, dude. Yeah, are you saying that for sure? Or are you just saying that?
Terry's major, dude. They said it yesterday.
Okay, dude.
That's the injury, dude.
All right, dude.
That's the injury,
Wow.
dude.
I'd be so stoked to be working with you with my injury.
Here I
Anyway,
am, not
dude.
interrupting Tony.
Anytime,
being
dude.
patient, and
Anyway,
he's not taking it seriously.
No,
right? We
no,
were just talking
it's
yesterday
crazy.
about how I always interrupt him.
Yeah,
I heard it. Don't act like I didn't hear
he's watching.
it. Now he's pretending that he's tight, like,
Yeah,
even though
yeah,
I was
right, dude.
waiting to begin with.
All right, so let's go. What happened with the Mets Verlander?
Yeah. So they saw the MRI.
he's still throwing. But they obviously are monitoring him. I believe they said
It's
2
scary over
weeks.
there in Metville.
2 weeks, dude. Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate, especially because you look at Verlander and
He has.
how many games that he missed last season, which were close to 0. He pretty much played the full season. Got all his starts in there. Didn't miss a start all season last year. Now he's missing his opening start here for the season. But hey man, what are you gonna do? You gotta shut him down. You gotta let him, kind of heal up here, and it sucks. But I guess we're used to it. So
You are used to it, so that's good.
Yeah.
yeah, dude.
No, but in all seriousness, Tony, though, I know obviously.
Am I worried about it? Yes, I'm worried about it. It's the start of the season, and the same deal happened with Max Scherzer. And the first time he was out, it was like 7 weeks, dude.
Okay, so and I know you don't know. We'll have to see how he progresses. But are you planning on the Mets being without Verlander for the first month?
Yeah, for sure.
Who's stepping in? Has there been any talk about that?
Today where he was supposed to be pitching, it's David Peterson.
David Peterson. Okay, and really that he's replacing him in the rotation because originally he wasn't going to be part of the Mets rotation. Right?
Basically, yeah,
Yeah.
that's the deal here.
Okay. Okay. So I just was curious about that. Now, what were your thoughts overall? A nice 5-3 victory yesterday in Miami.
Yeah, pretty solid. We laid down basically the groundwork for how this game would kind of pan out. Yesterday we kind of thought it would be a pitcher's duel, which it basically was for pretty much the first 6 innings, I guess you could say. But like you were saying, the Mets did come out with the dub here, 5-3, scored more than I thought. If you kind of want to recap, the scoring plays here. First 2 innings were pretty just lights out in terms of pitchers. Top of the third here, the Mets were up, and Nimmo had a nice sac fly RBI here. Pretty impressive stuff. Vogelback was on third. He actually had also a really nice I forget who it was. I think it was Narvaez who had a single that took Vogelback from first to third. And then Nimmo pop fly to the outfield, I think left field. Vogelback tags up on third and sprints home.
I saw.
And dude,
He
again,
said the boy's been working hard.
dude, he's been working so hard in the offseason, lost a lot of weight. Someone who had basically no speed, no movement last season. You see him tag up on a pop fly. It's pretty dope, dude. But nonetheless, that was your sac fly RBI.
Vogelback, I need to see it at the end of the season. He's
Omar
gonna slip up.
Narvaez kind of got caught in some type of weird rundown, really terrible.
It's weird.
Really terrible base running by him to get that out of the inning there. But nonetheless, dude, Vogelback, nice came in, dude. We're up 1-0. And then fast forward here to top of the 6th, dude. Lindor, sac fly RBI to center. Nimmo scores. Marte at that point moved to third, and then next batter up, Jeff McNeil, won the batting title last season. A nice RBI single as Marte scored in there, making it 3-0 at that point. And, Alonso had a couple nice hits. I mentioned Marte, who was on base. He had a couple good hits, too. A lot of batters. Marte honestly looked great. He had some great directional hits. He kind of noticed like there were some gaps in between first and second, and he really kind of took advantage of that. But, move to the bottom of the sixth here. Max Scherzer, who's been, at this point, absolutely lights out. Dude, really going to his slider.
Man,
right, guys?
They're both on their
Did you guys
phones.
see his sliders?
The one thing I would say is, they're not.
I literally hear everything he's saying.
No.
Look, I have Terry's Major, dude. I have it. I can see it. We have it right here.
By the way, Jay Bird says, "Damn, Professor Tony's looking spiffy today." Thank you, Jason. I'm glad you're listening.
Tony,
But as I was saying, dude, Max Scherzer.
Yeah, just keep going.
Are you?
Guys,
Dude, we were listening. I was listening. Tony, are you teaching today?
No, I'm not.
Anyway,
Going home, dude. Going home today.
Weird rundown. Scherzer in the sixth.
Up until this point, Max Scherzer, basically only relying on his slider for all of his strikeouts. Let up one hit in the first inning, but an absolute, lockdown pitching the second, third, fourth, fifth innings here. Again, going to his slider, ticking in around like 86, 84 between there. Tremendous movement on it, making batters look foolish. And for some reason, in the sixth inning, he decides to rely on his fastball, which at the beginning of his game is hitting like 95, 94. By the sixth inning, it's hitting like 92. 93.
But does that usually happen, or was it just kind of specific to yesterday?
I mean, it does happen, over the course of the game. I would say by sixth inning, maybe it's a little bit soon.
Because usually Verlander's the opposite.
Yeah,
so he's throwing harder as the game
progresses. Yeah, maybe Scherzer wasn't like, I don't know, he's not really in like prime form yet.
Right,
maybe
right.
Who knows?
Yeah, no, that was 10 years ago.
But actually, it's funny you mention that because last season with the Mets, he had one of his best career years with the Mets last season.
So it's funny you say
With
that,
the Mets. So he's only had how many years with the Mets?
This is his second.
Thank you.
No, but obviously
No. Like he had one of his best years of his career last
the way you
year
said
with
it.
the Mets.
No, and Max Scherzer's the rare guy who's continued his high performance as he's gotten towards 40
He's like
years
Brady.
old.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Brady.
And you can tell it's all just like in his head, bro. He's absolute.
He's a
crackhead,
maniac.
dude.
He's a complete maniac.
I was telling Mike, like,
Yeah.
quite literally, like he's in the dugout. They're announcing the
No, he's
opening,
different,
the
dude,
fucking lineup, and everyone is so happy. Opening day, high fives.
He's like punching himself.
And
in the
he
face.
is just sitting there, quiet, just staring, bro. And
Yeah.
then they call his name, just gets up, dude, almost cold shoulders someone in the dugout, get like fucking chalks out there. Absolutely lunatic. But nonetheless, sixth inning comes along again, decides to rely on his fastball for some reason. Again, I said kind of clocking in around 93. He ends up letting up 3 runs here, and all on fastballs, high in the zone and over the middle of the plate. So I don't know if it was just maybe him just thinking he could go to his fastball, him maybe losing confidence in his slider. But it starts with Arias, or I really should say Jacob Stallings, who gets on base. I believe he had just a stand-up double here, and then Arias doubles, bringing in Stallings, and then Cooper homers. Obviously, with Arias on base, it was a 2-run homer, making it 3-3. Really unfortunate for Scherzer. He ends up getting out of the inning. But kind of a really tough blemish on what would have been a really good outing. If it wasn't for that 6th inning, he would have had a much better line than what he did. Because you look at Scherzer's final line here. It's the 6 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, only 2 walks, 6 Ks, and then obviously giving up that 1 home run. Pitch count was around 91. Only 63 of those pitches were strikes, but again, he relied on his slider a lot, making people swing and miss a lot throughout the game here. So, kind of unfortunate. You had Drew Smith come out of the bullpen for an inning. He let up 1 hit, 2 Ks. Then you had Rayleigh come in for the next inning. No hits, no runs, 2 Ks in that inning. And then of course you Dave Robertson closing out the game in the 9th, 1 inning, 2 Ks, no hits, no anything like that. So bullpen totally clean here, which you love to see that. And then of course, at that point, the game was tied 3-3 after the 6th. And then you get a nice Nimmo RBI double a 2 RBI double, excuse me. Narvaez and Escobar scored. Narvaez kind of did have some nice base running this time around on the bags here, which you like to see because I mentioned that stupid rundown he got caught in, in the sixth. But Mets end up winning this 5-3. You feel pretty good about it. Again, seeing Nimmo have a solid game. Leading off, Marte went 2 for 4. McNeil went 2 for 4, kind of picking up where he left off last season. Even Escobar getting a hit because I think Sandy was making him look a little foolish in the beginning of the game there. Chasing, breaking balls, out of the zone. Vogelback, who was 1 for 1. Tommy Pham came in the DH a little bit. He was 0 for 2, but I'm sure you'll kind of see him warm up a little bit. And then, like I said, bullpen did pretty solid. You hate to see what happened to Scherzer there in the 6th, but a win is a win here. For the Mets, and you love the nice opening day win, which doesn't come, a lot for the Mets, an opening day win.
No,
so.
they actually win have won 70% of their home openers. Or not
home openers.
Opening day.
And
No,
it's
opening days, I think.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I just heard that on
No,
the
and
radio.
it's funny. They've done
literally
well.
just heard that,
the
Tony.
Yankees had a dominant streak, but probably the last 10 years they've been maybe 500, I want to say.
On opening day?
Yeah. I mean, I
Yeah.
know we've won the last 2, but before that, I think there's a
Yeah, it
couple
was a
years in a
little
row
tough,
where we
yeah.
didn't win.
Not the home opener specifically.
Yeah, just
They usually
opener.
win the home opener.
Yeah. But remember, there was that streak, and then it finally ended. But home openers, they had won over 10 in a row.
What about home openers, though?
What's that? Well, because we said home opener 7 times. That's what you're saying?
Yeah.
Wait, so is it the home opener or no?
So a couple of things I'd like to talk to you about here, Tony. So with
Come on, I
Scherzer
wanna talk
last
to you.
year, we did see certain starts, and obviously, you think about the wild card series, of course, but where it's like he's great, and then he just kind of has like that one bad inning. I know obviously this being opening day, he only threw 91 pitches. It's not like he was really pushing it. So like moving forward, are you concerned about all as like he goes deeper in the game, or do you think it's just something that Buck has to monitor where once he sees that little dip that they got to just take him out type of deal?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, again, like I think it's something again Buck can maybe monitor. I mean, if we have a lot of confidence in our bullpen in the second, we'll have that ability to, hey, once Scherzer starts to dip a little bit, then we can throw our bullpen, have confidence in them and confidence in still staying in the game or whatever the scenario may be. But I mean, again, like I just don't understand why Scherzer would go to his fastball so much when his slider was just so dominant through the first 5 innings.
Yeah.
Like what I want to know what happened. And I don't really know why.
Do you think, like, especially with, these big time pitchers that have made hundreds of millions of dollars, have won Cy Youngs, there's just a sense of they love their off speed and getting guys to chase, but there's something like they just get jacked up to strike out people with fastballs.
Yeah. And I could see Scherzer being that type of stubborn guy where someone hits his fastball and he's like, all right, well, I got to try and throw it harder here.
Yeah, he just wants to
and
hum
he's
it
just
in
still and just humming it and it's just not working.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like why Cole has run into trouble at times where
100%.
he's too accurate. His fastball is really fast, but you're throwing it right down the middle.
Yeah.
You can't do it.
And that was the problem, dude. Literally, it was like top tier of the strike zone, but right down the middle.
Right.
All those fastballs,
Right.
every single one of them.
Now, what did you guys think of too? I was just thinking about this with the whole pitch clock scenario. Did you feel like it affected how you kind of enjoyed the game, watched the game, the pace of the game? I mean, what did you guys think?
Not really. I kind of just thought it went smooth. It was like nice and smooth.
Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of agree. Although, Max Scherzer historically is a quick pitcher, so I don't think it really affects him as much.
Yeah. I think Cole is too, right? I mean,
you did see some like annoying things though. Like, I forget what inning it was, but Alonso was on base, McNeil was up, and like all of a sudden the ump just like stops play and calls a strike on McNeil. And I guess he was saying Alonso didn't get back to first base because it was like a foul ball or whatever. And then I guess Alonso didn't get back to first base quick enough. So the ump like stopped the play, reset the pitcher's clock, and then gave McNeil a strike because of it. Which is like kind of ridiculous.
No, the whole thing.
All those
he has
little,
to be
like,
looking. He has to make eye contact.
All those
Like,
little nuances are gonna be annoying.
So
I feel
beat,
like,
dude.
But
Yeah.
Hopefully the umps don't they don't fuck anything up. Like the outcome of games.
So that's what I was gonna say. And it's like, let's see a faster game, a better pace.
Yeah, fine.
But let's not have
don't
ghost
cheat it,
strikes
basically.
being
Yeah,
called,
yeah.
guys being called out.
Yeah.
We don't want that.
And it was a big
I'm-
spot like for the Mets too, because like I think we had 2 men on, there were 2 outs. Like
Just
McNeil ended up getting a single.
Speaking
but
of all these
still.
new things, dude, I'm definitely tight about that. I hate the fucking guy on second to start extra innings.
Oh, right.
I don't like
right.
that, dude. I really don't.
Yeah, no, and they did kind of allude to that they were going to get
What do
rid
you
of
think
that,
about
and then
that,
they
Mike?
didn't.
That's beat. Dude.
Well, but then how beat is it too that it's not like that for the postseason? So why is it like it for the regular season?
yeah,
We're doing all
why?
this stuff for
Yeah,
pace
yeah,
as it is.
yeah,
We
yeah.
don't need that.
Yeah.
We don't need it.
I
So
don't like that at
but
all,
they
dude.
can adjust things. Hopefully they will with this stuff just to make sure that this isn't affecting the outcome of the game, but it's just making it more fluent. Because they had I was watching later on like the Astros White Sox game, and they had Bregman mic'd up, and obviously Bregman, we know how we feel about him, but it just was interesting what he said. He did say it does feel like a sprint, and he was talking to them while he's making a play, and he's like, yeah, I mean, we're going to get used to it, but it's just going to take a little time, and I'm sure that's like kind of the consensus around the league. One other thing too, Tony, I wanted to talk to you about is, I heard you mention on the show yesterday, now Robertson, is the closer. You didn't sound fully comfortable with him, like you'd like to add somebody. But obviously did the job yesterday. And at the same time, let's say, you aren't able to get someone who's, 100 save guy, 200 save guy, but you could just get like a really good setup guy. Do you think that they can kind of work with that? Or are you set on, you want a guy who's been a closer for several years to kind of step into that role?
I would like to have a solidified closer. I mean, I guess technically by default, Robertson does have the most experience,
Right.
Yeah.
In that department.
Mhm.
So I mean, again, like he pitched really well. I mean, he had a wicked curveball that he was relying on in the ninth inning there, and it had some terrific movement to it. Batters were swinging like underneath it almost. It was just some good stuff. So I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, maybe we could have some confidence in him. You never know. You could kind of capture lightning in a bottle there, Brian.
And it's funny, me and Matt, I feel like would know equally here, but Robertson is such an interesting guy where I feel like overall we've liked him, but like there's just certain times where he's really gotten us tight.
Really?
I don't know. Like, what's your kind of?
He's definitely blown a few saves. But
Yeah.
he was nice in 2017. I was glad we had him then.
Right. Yeah, we'll bring him
He
back.
stepped up in that in the wild card.
Yeah,
game.
from the White Sox coming
Yeah.
over with Frazier.
mhm.
But have you always felt he's better as like a seventh inning, eighth
Oh,
inning guy?
definitely, dude. Than as a compared to a closer, yeah.
Because I just,
100%.
obviously,
Yeah, Tony. I wonder what you got. I wonder if you'll trade for somebody. Like
It's funny because
because
the other day Brian mentioned getting a Aroldis Chapman.
yeah.
I mean,
I would like to
that-
see Tony have to sweat that
would you
out.
want to? Would you like that?
I would
Tony?
love to. I would
Like,
love
just
for
try it out?
Chapman to be really good with the Mets.
Yeah.
like just total dominant, like no problem.
And if you're giving up
of course.
nothing, are
Yeah,
you
yeah.
in favor of it? If
Oh
it's
yeah,
just,
if you're giving up
marginal
nothing.
project?
Yeah, we talked
Yeah.
about it. Yeah, if it's nothing.
And I do think he would be motivated because he's like, well, I did
100%.
embarrass myself on the way out,
Yeah.
not making the postseason roster because I didn't show up to some
Wanted
practice
to go to
or
Miami.
whatever. So for his season to end like that, it really, we know. I mean, he really embarrassed himself his last couple of years as a Yankee. I mean, unbelievable. But I do think
he didn't pitch good. Like he was just being a chief.
I think it was all mental though. That's the tough part. Not to say that his velocity hasn't gone down, but it's stubbornness, mental though. I think were the biggest things.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see, what they do. But at the end of the day, Tony, you have to be pretty happy that Robertson was able to nail down the save. And I think the thing, I think they'll mix and match for the ninth inning as well. Because I think with Robertson, like, you obviously the Marlins, they don't have like a guy that you're like, wow, at any moment he could really hit one out. So I would just be concerned. It's the bottom of the ninth inning and he has to face Acuna. He has to face Austin Riley. Like, is he going to be able to get his fastball over the plate and not have it be hit out? I think that's the question.
Yeah, and I think he'll be fine.
Yeah. So
Hopeful.
We'll see about that. Now, did you guys catch any of the other games on TV yesterday?
Yeah, dude. Well, I mean, I wouldn't say on TV, but I was definitely monitoring them quite closely, watching lots of highlights on Twitter. Obviously, I saw Adam Wainwright sing the national anthem in his game, dude. That's so funny. I caught some stuff of the Seattle game as well.
Luis Castillo.
Matt Brash, reliever for Seattle. I don't know if you know much about him.
I've heard the name,
but dude, he had some really good stuff. He like literally dropped Jose Ramirez with like this wicked like slider. I'm gonna see if I can find the pitch, but I think he's like a 24 or 25-year-old reliever.
Dude, I'm about to watch this.
Someone
right now.
maybe to target, dude. Yeah, I'm gonna try to bring it up here on Twitter. What about you,
Wow.
Brian? You catching any other games?
So
Actually, Brian, how did the pitch clock feel at the game? I didn't even ask you that.
It just felt like we're moving.
Yeah?
And I felt nervous. I didn't get one concession while I was at the game because I didn't want
You
to
didn't
miss
want to
anything.
miss anything.
Dude,
Yeah,
drive
yeah,
for a
yeah.
second. Lines
Yeah.
way too long. I'm not
Dude.
missing action to
Yeah,
get
no.
to get a beer. We talked about this.
No beer. Barnes
Dude,
had
literally,
no, Barnes, Barnes had no bids.
Oh, really? No beers?
Didn't
End
want
the
to miss.
game.
I
No,
mean,
but
dude,
like
I-
this. Go ahead, Matt.
No, you will miss. You will miss
Yeah.
something if
So
you
if
go.
you want to have some beers, I mean, just have them before.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Dude,
the
literally,
easiest
like
solution.
people were calling into like Dave and Rick this morning saying like I went to get a beer at the concessions and 3 innings had gone by.
But you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
tight.
But I
People are
in a
tight.
way, I almost like it though, because like, all right, I'm good with not having it. Like, you get 3 beers, it's $50.
Oh
So,
my god, dude.
You know?
It is insane
Yeah.
how expensive everything is at sporting
Yeah.
events and just like concerts and shit, all that. It's nuts.
But also, what Tony? Are you close with that, or you still need another minute?
Dude, I got it right
All
now.
right, yeah,
dude.
let's
Right
see it.
here.
Okay,
I did
right
right now.
here. Right now, dude. All right, so Matt Brash, reliever for Seattle, young dude. We're gonna look up some stats on him, maybe, dude. I can really dive deep into him.
Maybe.
Was
But
he
this is
part
him
of a
against-
trade, or he came up in the system?
Dude, I have no idea. I
He-
think he came up in the system.
Okay.
But
This
look,
is
dude. Oh, you
ridiculous.
can't fucking see it because the monitor. Can you-
No, I have YouTube.
Oh, yeah. All right, you have.
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. So here's the pitch. Matt Brash. Oh my god! Like literally, like Ramirez goes down so hard from this pitch. I think I've watched it
Oh
20
my
times.
gosh, dude.
Wow.
Such
Yeah.
crazy movement, dude.
That is
So good. I literally could watch this
unbelievable.
over and over again.
Wow, that looks like Josh
Unbelievable,
Donaldson's
dude.
swing.
And he just like walks
Yeah,
it
it
off,
does,
dude.
actually,
Like wipes
Barnes.
his hand, dude.
Yeah. Did
He got a
you
hit yesterday though.
did you see my story though after the first inning or no?
No.
So you'll die. It should still be up there. But so I was talking like, oh, it was great. Judge first at bat. Are you kidding? And then I end the video with, but of course Donaldson strikes out in the first at bat. I don't want to hear about a rebound season. He's finished. Let's get him out of town.
Nice. Looks like Matt Brash is from Canada, believe it or not.
Canada.
He's 24 years old, drafted in the 2019 draft in the 4th round by the Padres.
Okay, so he was involved in a trade then.
Yeah, I'm trying to see where are we? Transaction? Where the hell did that go? Drafted by the Padres in September of 2020. Padres sent Matt Brash to the Mariners to complete an earlier deal made in August. The Padres sent a player to be named later to Seattle for Taylor Williams. So they traded him for Taylor Williams, dude.
Okay.
Anything on Taylor Williams, Brian?
Have not heard of him. But I would. So he's on the Padres.
He must be in their minor league system, I guess. He's 31 years old from Vancouver, Washington.
Vancouver, Washington.
Yeah.
The heck?
Oh, maybe he must have got sent back. Oh no, look.
He's got a
interesting, dude.
529 career in 97 games. So
Yeah,
marginal
dude.
guys. We're talking
Yeah,
about.
dude. So Matt Brash looks like maybe developed himself over there for Seattle. Absolutely love it, dude.
Yeah. No, that's good stuff. And,
Yeah.
and I really do think, Seattle is a team to watch out for.
Hell yeah.
I think they're going to be big time this year. You mentioned me watching other games. It was such a long day, so I fell asleep during part of it, but I did watch a decent amount of the White Sox and the Astros. What a pitcher's duel between Dylan Cease and Framber Valdez.
Mhm.
Cease, is just unbelievable. And you really hope, obviously the White Sox won this one 3-2 due to Ryan Presley actually imploding in the ninth. You really hope that the White Sox are somehow able to make the playoffs because you want to see Cease in the playoffs. And I have to say, let's say we get to somewhere in the neighborhood of the trade deadline and the White Sox are 10 under or even worse than that. I don't know how you don't look into trading Dylan Cease. The value that you could get as far as a pitcher is concerned, I think short of Ohtani, who would possess more value now in a trade?
Other than Dylan Cease and
Yeah.
Ohtani? Yeah, I know. It is
I don't
kind of
think
tough.
anybody-
You picked Cease to be Cy Young, right?
Yeah. 6 2/3, 2 hits, 1 run, 10 strikeouts, which is just unbelievable. Alvarez scoring on a wild pitch. That's the only run that he actually let up.
That's crazy.
You guys think? Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, do you think Ohtani gets traded in the season?
It really depends on how this season starts, I think. Because I think he really is sick of losing. You lose
He's tight.
yesterday 2-1 to the Oakland. Talk about kind of an embarrassment that you could claw, 1 run together against the Oakland A's, who you would think would win 40 games this year. You look at the stat line here, Ohtani, 6 innings, 2 hits, 3 walks, 10 strikeouts, but just no help offensively. The Angels as a team, only 5 hits, scoring on an RBI single by a Hope. Gio Urshela making his Angel debut. was 2 for 4. I really expect Gio to bounce back, as well as Anthony Rendon. And I know Rendon was 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. I picked him as my comeback player of the year. But I think, you think about those guys, you think about Drury, and then you think about Trout and Ohtani. This Angels offense should be humming this year.
Should be. Stay healthy,
Yeah,
dude.
but they won't because they just never.
I don't know.
They're
though.
never
I
healthy
think,
enough,
I think
dude.
we
Yeah.
could say that we think the offense is going to be good. It's just really the pitching is the biggest question
Yeah,
mark.
pitching, the bullpen, dude.
I do think Tyler Anderson was a good pickup, though.
Huge.
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
I know he's not a strikeout guy, but his ERA was very good for Los Angeles last year.
Yeah, dude. And then they have, they have Aaron Loop, who did not have a
Patrick
great season.
Sandoval
dude.
had a great year
Yeah.
as a starter as well. I'm trying to think if there's anybody else we're missing. I was just going to pull up the roster. And it's interesting, too. I wonder if, let's say, like everyone's expecting, their season once again looks like it's not heading towards the playoffs. Do they try to flip Gio Urshela? Because I think he's really going to have a good year, and it's a shame that the Yankees still don't have him. Imagine if they had him instead of Josh Donaldson.
or really anyone else.
He
other than
was
Josh
our
Donaldson.
guy. Like, dude, that 2019 when he hit the home runs,
Yep.
he hit 300.
Mhm. Sick year. It came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
What the hell's Gio Urshela?
But it seemed like every night he was hitting a home run.
I know. Sick.
It really was unbelievable. I was just pulling up the rotation here. Like I said, I know they have Sandoval, you got Ohtani, Tyler Anderson, and then Reed Detmers, who did pitch the no-hitter last year. And he, 3.77 ERA last year, so not bad. He's only 23 years old, so I mean there is room to grow there. And then the fifth starter, Jose Suarez, was 8-8, 3.96. He's only 25. So Sandoval is a younger guy too. So I think there is some hope there. It is interesting too. They're going to go with Esteves as their closer. He's 30 years old, 3.47 ERA last year. So, I think the Angels, the rotation and the bullpen have been equally as weak. So I think that's the key for them to step up, this coming season. Tony, did you get any type of gratitude on Jacob deGrom struggling yesterday in his Ranger debut? Honestly.
Yeah, of course, a little bit, I mean, they still fucking won, which was ridiculous. But what was his final line?
yeah,
Did he
like,
give up 6 runs?
6 runs, 3
innings?
2/3,
Wow,
I
no
think.
way.
Yeah, dude, he fucking blew it, dude. And then I guess the
Tony,
Phillies.
you gotta be pumped.
And
about
then,
that.
dude, the Rangers still came back and won it because, I think Aaron Nola let up
11-7 they won.
Yeah, I think Nola let up 4 runs in the 5th, and then a couple of their bullpen guys, Soto and someone else, just kind of blew it, dude. And then all of a sudden, it was Texas ended up winning. But DeGrom only lasting 3 2/3, I think it was.
6 hits,
dude.
5 runs,
Yep.
7 strikeouts, and a home run allowed,
Yeah,
72
you're definitely a little bit happy, dude.
12.2
Yeah,
ERA right
for
now
sure.
for DeGrom.
I mean, it's not going to be like that forever, obviously, but it's just again,
I'm
people
sure.
were
I'm
all
sure
the
your
Rangers,
fellow Met
dude.
brethren, dude, is definitely takes a little satisfaction in that, dude.
Oh yeah, and definitely I would. Dude.
But he's pumped about the Rangers' plan, dude, for the future, the World Series.
yeah, I bet.
I mean, they're
bro.
undefeated.
That was
Dude,
so
dude.
ridiculous.
So
It's dude, what are
stupid,
you
dude. What are you
talking
talking
about, bro? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
That you literally.
The
Mets
only
are
thing I
doing
would
that.
say,
What do you
though,
mean?
is
He's a chief.
I do think though they do have a pretty good roster though this year. I'm not saying that they should win a World Series,
Dude,
but
I think their pitching staff is fucking overrated.
Dude, they have Andrew Heaney,
dude.
dude,
Andrew Heaney will forever be the worst pitcher that I've ever seen of all time in my entire life.
you know
dude.
what's crazy?
There'll
though?
never be anybody worse.
I
dude.
mean,
That's it.
he's Josh Donaldson from the pitching position for the Yankees.
I mean, dude, he's fucking awful.
but it was crazy though. Last year he did have some really good starts for the. I hate him, but I'm just saying he had some good starts for the Dodgers. He
Yeah,
does
early
have-
on, I think, but
He sucks.
Come on,
Yeah, I mean, more than likely, is he going to get hammered? I mean, probably. But I just think too for the Rangers here
Definitely.
to have 11 runs yesterday, and their only home runs were by Robbie Grossman and Brad Miller.
the bottom of their lineup.
Simeon had 2 hits, so they're hoping he bounces back. Seager had 2 runs scored, 1 for 3. Adolis Garcia, a guy I really like. He's got that power speed combination. He was 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs as well. The catcher Heim was 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs. So up and down this lineup, you did get production, which I think is a positive sign for them. So at the end of the day, I mean, I'm sure they will more than take an 11-7 victory here over the Phillies in just what was a crazy game. And speaking of crazy games, Tony, my Canadian friends were texting me the Blue Jays. It was a back and forth game with the St. Louis Cardinals, but they edge them out. on the road, 10-9. So Alek Manoah actually got hammered in this one, which was to my surprise.
From the first.
I know the Cardinals, are a good team, but it just was crazy that Manoah 3 1/3, 9 hits, 5 runs, 2 walks, 2 home runs allowed, only 3 strikeouts. And as far as their offense was concerned, I mean, they had 19 hits, which I would imagine would be somewhere around an opening day record. How about George Springer looking to kind of have a renaissance season here? 5 of 6, 4 runs scored. So obviously that was big. Bichette also had 4 hits.
Love that.
Vladdy 2 for 4, 3 RBIs. And they were actually texting me, the guys, Mike and Terry yesterday, that they really think it's going to come down to the last week of the season, Jays and Yankees.
Are they are they Jays fans though?
Yeah, it's funny.
But,
even hating Toronto, but that's the only team they have. So they don't have an option. And I think they weren't really Expos guys
back in the day
when they were there. Yeah. So, that's what they got. And I mean, that's a nice way to start the year for the Jays. And, it would be exciting. I mean, obviously, you are slightly intimidated by their lineup. But I think, we match up very well with them. I mean, we'll take them any day of the week. And I think too, we've seen them shrink in the big moment the last 2 years. That's why they haven't had any playoff success.
Yeah, and even that, that time when they did have some playoff opportunities. I mean, it's a young team. They didn't really expect a lot out of them because of the youth. It was kind of like almost like a Cinderella-esque story, being that young as an entire team. But you knew, like, give them a few years, experience some loss, some heartbreak, some wins, they'll come together as a team, and they will, like, I guarantee they will be, contending in the playoffs.
Toronto.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, dude.
Toronto.
And if Bo Bichette, keeps up a season like the way
Bo
he's starting
Bichette's
off,
nice.
dude. I mean, I feel like last season it was hit or
miss,
great.
but
Vladdy too, dude.
But going into this year, I mean, I did really feel like, and Vladdy too, that I had a lot of confidence in those guys. Those guys are some of the best players at their positions.
Yeah, again, like I said, experiencing that loss, that terrible season, I'm sure put a lot of things into perspective for them being so young, and to understand like kind of how careers could go, how seasons could go, and how to make those adjustments. So.
And then just looking at some other games, kind of surprising. At home, the Padres fall to the Rockies 7-2. And you look at the pitching, Snell, kind of one of his shorter patented starts, 4 1/3, 6 hits, 3 runs, 9 strikeouts. Bullpen let up 4 runs, so they didn't do them any favors. And I think it's big for the Rockies. I mean, you look at some guys who had big games here. How about Chris Bryant? Signs that big contract, barely plays last year.
Oh my God.
3 for 5. He's a guy that could definitely win comeback player of the year. I think it's easy to write him off, but I think from the fact that he's playing 81 games at Coors Field, he really could bounce back because we've seen him have some good stretches. You think about a couple of years ago when he got traded to the San Francisco Giants, what an impact he had in their lineup, in that season where they won, over 100 games. And had the best record in baseball before ultimately falling to the Dodgers in the division series. Charlie Blackmon, a guy who was like an all-star level player, kind of has tapered off. He was 3 for 5. And then CJ Cron, looked at it, one of their best players, 2 home runs yesterday, 4 for 5, 4 RBIs. So who knows, this Rockies offense, with a healthy Chris Bryant, could be an offensive juggernaut. Of course, the questions with them is going to be, can they pitch, and can they pitch specifically at Coors Field? German Marquez, I've never been impressed with him. Yesterday, he does the job against the Padres. 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, and 5 strikeouts to pick up his first win of the year. Matt Carpenter made his debut as a Padre, did have an RBI. It looks like sac fly. But did not get a hit once again. So that hitless streak continues for him. Had a pretty tough time in the playoffs. But, I think we have to, even though that did kill us, it wasn't solely his fault last year. And we still have to positively reflect on that stretch he did have in the summer. That was unbelievable.
Wild. Yeah, that was crazy. That was so fun to watch.
It was. And to be there at that curtain call game last year.
You look like the WB Mason, man.
Oh, yeah. And it's interesting. I mean, the Padres, we saw him get to the championship series last year after struggling through much of the regular season. They have all these big names now. Of course, you think about the Bogart signing, and he had 3 for 4
Had a great
yesterday. Tatis will be back, I guess, in May. I think that's when the suspension ends.
Yeah.
But I mean, a loss like this and the inconsistencies last year, I mean, do you guys think there's any reason to be concerned about them that, I don't know, just like the chemistry isn't there, or because of the fact that they made that run to the NLCS last year that they should be fine and it's just about growing together?
I think the what you just said just there. And also like Blake Snell, like being their season opener, like
Darvish.
It's not
I
their
don't know if
best.
he pitched too much in the WBC.
Maybe, but like Blake Snell is probably it's obviously not the best guy in the rotation. I mean, you have Musgrove, you have Darvish. I mean,
Seems like he only pitches well against
Clevenger,
the
right?
Yankees.
They still have Clevenger.
Yeah,
I think they do. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? He always used to dominate a Snell.
Yeah.
Oh, even
In
on Tampa Bay
Yeah.
too. Yeah, with Tampa Bay he was good, but then
Yeah.
like
Padres.
again when he got pulled out of that
Remember he was
playoff
so-
game,
dude, I was
and
just gonna say,
the World
he
Series.
was- he was
the World
so-
Series. Yeah, that's
he was
right.
so pissed.
So
Kevin
pissed, dude.
Cash.
And they fucked it
Yeah,
up,
dude.
dude. I forget who they brought in.
They probably would have won.
I forget who they brought in, but
I
it doesn't
know
matter,
too.
dude. I just feel like Snell ever since then has been just like
Tight.
not great, dude. And
No.
bright spots, but I mean, again, like generally, not a great starter to have. And again, like first game of the season, I could see why San Diego may be starting a little slow, still waiting on Tatis. You have to see that from Bogarts, and you would imagine, other players around the lineup, like Soto's not going to be going 0 for 4 forever. Machado too, like 1 for 3. He's going to have better nights. Same thing with Cronenworth. Even with Carpenter too, you'd imagine, he could maybe sit in there at DH and Grissom too. So I'm not that worried about San Diego. They're going to pick it up for sure. And again, better pitching too. Like, I mean, Musgrove could at any point really be throwing a no-hitter, I feel. So it's like,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous.
Musgrove was sick.
Another
Remember his ears though, dude.
Oh, yeah.
He's just so, dude, so
Donuts.
red,
You can see those
bro.
things from outer
Yeah.
space.
Yeah,
well,
dude,
I
it
mean, the
begs the
Mets had a
question.
tough time in the wild card series. They're looking for anything, to kind of make up for that.
Tough 10.
I'm just kidding.
No,
Tony.
yeah, I love getting swept by the Astros, dude. I love that, dude.
I love losing the wild card series.
Yeah,
we know
dude.
we could go on forever.
No,
about
we
this.
can. I mean, I'd rather win some games at least in a series and not even show up
Michael,
for it.
isn't it ridiculous?
Like
that
they could have stayed home, dude. They could have stayed home.
That he even tries this.
Dude,
Same thing though. for
How
the
do you
Mets.
feel that like a little
No,
league
no, but
team
why
could have
don't-
showed up though?
No, but why don't we not even make the playoffs if we're just going to lose in the wild card series? No.
That's same
no, it's
argument.
ridiculous. At least you win a
Why
game,
not?
dude.
You know,
No.
same thing.
Why
You
go
win
to
the
the
game.
game?
Or why
Dude.
even play the games if we're going to be up in the division and then collapse last month? And
You know
lose
what?
10
Why
games in the
even
stands?
have a whole season if you're just gonna not win a game in the
Why?
championship
Why?
series, dude?
Why?
Honestly, dude. Just cancel the year,
Oh
dude.
man, the back and forth, you really can't. beat it.
11-11.
Another game I wanted to mention though, the Braves 7-2 over the Nationals, and it is amazing Patrick Corbin that they keep trotting him out there. I mean, I know
Corbin.
this one.
Remember
I
we
guess,
wanted him so bad.
Oh, I
Barnes when he
know,
was a free
I know.
agent.
Clay, New York.
Sucks ass.
But 3 innings, 7 hits, 4 runs, 2 of them earned, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. I mean, hard to envision the fact that he's not going to get DFA'd this year. But I think it is nice for the Braves to have Max Fried not even make it through 4 innings, and you win this one handily, 7-2. Production up and down the lineup. Former Yankee Lucas Licky getting the win here. He did allow a run in an inning of work, but did pick up the W. Production up and down the lineup. Matt Olson had 2 hits. Acuna had 2 hits. Albies had 2 hits. Travis d'Arnaud, who you would expect to be kind of tapered back with how much playing time he received. He actually got the start at DH. With Sean Murphy coming over from Oakland, 4 for 5 with 2 RBIs. So just up and down this lineup production. I think a nice way for Atlanta to start, and I think they're widely expected to be one of the top contenders in the National League.
You really think so, dude?
Come on, Tony.
No, yeah, I agree. You're right.
Come
You're right,
on.
dude.
And then let's see. Anything else we really wanted to mention here? I mean, I guess also what I would say too, I was going to bring this game before, but I forgot what happened. That the Dodgers, all over the Diamondbacks 8-2. So a lot of talk about, the offense, not the same. I mean, they do put up 8 runs here. JD Martinez did have an RBI single in his debut, 1 for 4. Mookie Betts 0 for 4, did score a run, but struck out 3 times. Freddie Freeman 2 for 4. Will Smith, the catcher, widely regarded as one of the top offensive catchers in the league, 3 for 4 RBIs, hitting in that 3-hole. Urias gave you 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, 6 strikeouts. Bullpen did the job as well. So, against a Diamondbacks team, and I know obviously they're rebuilding, Tony, but I do think the talent is improving there. And Zach Gallen, was going into this start, thought of one of the better pitchers in the National League. struggled yesterday,
Give him some time.
but we know the talent is there at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned too, a lot of opening day pitchers struggle a little bit, dude. He's gonna be someone down the stretch of the season is gonna be their best pitcher. He's gonna be a good pitcher around the league in general too, not just for the Diamondbacks.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. So what an opening day. And I love this time of the year too, because you know how like me and Matt have had the discussions, a lot where it's like, we love, of course, watching the Yankees, the other games, you're not really tuned in. But now, because especially like the Yankees being off today, like there's a game on, definitely pumped to watch it. And just because it's been so long without baseball, no matter who's playing, it is fun to watch right now.
Yeah.
So that's what makes it great. We do have 5 games. We're gonna have to start a new pick segment today, Tony. So we got some activities we got to do, some bowling, some golf.
Yeah.
But a fresh baseball
Right.
pick segment today.
For the glove.
Yeah, for the glove, exactly. So we can go 2 each in a common. Obviously Mets are in action. So if you kind of want to segue that into your first pick, let's talk about Jesus Luzardo versus David Peterson. 640 from Lone Depot Park.
Yes, 640. Love that time, dude. Great time. As Matthew is holding the Yoshi, dude. Loves the Yoshi.
This is a
Great
great Yoshi, man. This is so epic, dude. I'm so pumped about the Mario movie.
Hey, Mario.
Everything coming with that, dude. Keep seeing the commercials on TV. There's things going on over here, over there, everywhere.
That reminds me,
It's just
we gotta get tickets, dude.
It's just dope.
But
Is it-
anyway,
wait, is
dude,
it out today or April 5th?
no, April 5th, I believe. Yeah. April 4th, 5th, 5th.
Something like that.
Nonetheless, dude, Jesus Luzardo here. Brian's getting tight. We're talking about movies. I'm gonna say,
Well, I figure we'll save it for screen time, no?
yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, of course, dude. Are you sticking around?
yeah.
Dude, I am due though, but I think I'll make my screen time return when we break down Full Swing. That's what we got to do.
Okay, yeah. I hear
Wow,
that, dude.
that's solid.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. I like that a lot.
I
All
mean,
right, so
really, I know it's
I
asking.
like it a lot, dude.
All right, so
Yeah, actually, you know what? I was
You know,
just I was gonna
Jesus
say-
Luzardo, dude.
Tell me real quick though. I know this is a little rushed, but it wouldn't make sense. And I guess it's probably not enough time, but it would make sense to do that next week with the Masters going on. I'm just saying, but
It would.
I know
try-
it might
It
be
would-
tough.
That
I'll
would
get to it.
coincide.
I'll try and
That
get
would
to it, dude.
coincide very nicely. Dude.
Yes, I bet, dude. I'll try and
Coincide
get to it.
nicely.
I'll get to it this weekend. We'll watch some, dude.
All right.
Tomorrow night, tonight, Sunday night, dude.
Hawaii,
All
let's
Sunday
go.
day, maybe. Who knows, dude?
Jesus
Luzardo,
Tony.
dude. I think a 3.3 ERA last season.
Strikeout guy.
Strikeout guy, 120 Ks over maybe 101 innings pitched, something like that.
Yep.
So he can fan a few batters. I would expect maybe some guys to struggle at first, but honestly, Brian, call me crazy here, but I think David Peterson, who did not let up a run in spring training, is going to have a really good game here against Miami. We saw, hopefully David Peterson sees, hey man, some of these Miami guys like high fastballs, so he'll avoid that. Continue to work the corners low and away, use that slider of his, dude, throw his change up a little bit. Off-speed pitches to keep those Miami hitters at bay a little bit. And again, I feel like I feel like the name of his game should be not to throw fastballs down the middle of the plate. Really, if you're gonna throw a fastball, maybe low and away, even high and inside if you could, or low and inside, something, dude. Just not high and down the middle of the plate. So call me crazy. I think David Peterson's final line here, I'm gonna say 7 2/3 innings pitched, giving up 3 hits, 1 run. I'll give him like 3 walks and let's say 7 Ks, dude. He'll throw maybe, I'll give him 103 pitches he's throwing. So pretty solid outing for him. Again, I think he proved a lot in this in spring. And then on top of that, I think a lot of our hitters are going to be relying on Nimmo and McNeil, honestly, right now. I absolutely love the way McNeil is kind of picking up where he left off last season. Give me a nice 2 for 4 night with 2 RBIs from him. Nimmo, maybe a 2 for 4 night as well with an RBI. Again, I mean, yesterday, opening day was kind of, again, where the Mets were leading, were picking up where they left off last season, where a lot of our runs scored are just getting guys in running positions and sack fly RBIs, RBI singles, RBI doubles, just nice fundamental baseball of getting those guys on base and bringing them home. It's going to be a Mets victory here. I don't know. I'll say 4-1.
Yeah.
Stood.
Yeah, let's go. I think same thing, not a ton of runs to be scored in this one. I think Luzardo's pretty good, but I think the Mets, will be able to do that. And it's a good spot for Peterson to start the year against their offense, versus some of the tougher, in the National League. For my first pick here, I'm going to take the Mariners. The Cleveland, I guess they've had some pitching injuries because right now this guy I've never heard of, Gaddis, is getting the start for them. Robbie Ray on the hill for the Mariners. They get the win yesterday. And I think we saw with the Guardians, it was evident yesterday when they got shut out. I think they had 3 or 4 hits, no runs, that they're a team that really needs timely hitting and lights out pitching because they're just not going to score a lot of runs. And I think this Seattle offense, with Ty France, with Julio Rodriguez, Cal Raleigh, has a lot of power from the catching position. I think they'll be able to easily win this one. I'm going to say the same score you have for the Mets here. 4-1 Mariners. Ray, give him 10 strikeouts over 6. And then I'll say a Steven Kwan, meaningless home run in the 8th inning to get that only run on the board for the Guardians.
Wow.
Mr. Kwan, give me a heart attack.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, my next game, I'm gonna go with the Padres. I think.
Mm-hmm.
We were just talking about them, a team kind of warming up, maybe in terms of offense. And again, they're going up to Colorado. I know that maybe they kind of stole one opening day for them, but Padres get their jitters out, and they're going against Kyle Freeland, who had a 5 ERA last season, maybe a tick below. But I just feel like the Padres lineup should be hopping all over this. I think Manny Machado is going to be a big factor here. 2 dingers from him tonight.
Wow.
Soto with a dinger. I think home runs are going to be flying here. Nick Martinez for the Padres. You look at what he was last season, 3.47 ERA, 95 Ks. Looks like last season he had only 10 starts on 47 games played, 106 innings pitched, 95 Ks. I mentioned that. Mostly a bullpen guy. Looked like last season he had 8 saves too. So I wonder, what the Padres exactly are doing in terms of starting Nick Martinez. But nonetheless, I feel like he can probably still have a solid outing against Colorado. But give me the Padres here, scoring 6 runs, only giving up 3, and they go to victory.
There we go. I think it is a good bounce back spot for them.
Yeah.
And, after the disappointment of yesterday. Speaking of disappointment of yesterday, one thing I forgot to mention when I was watching the Astros game, David Cohn was on the Yankee call. So typically he would be with Ravitch and the fellas on ESPN. But without that, they actually brought in Roger Clemens on the broadcast there. And I had to say, he did a great job. And I understand all the stuff with the steroids and this and that. But I think there's value, especially for ESPN. We know the struggles that they have overall as a network. Having a guy like Clemens in there talking pitching, talking split finger, talking situation, talking
solid
about his time with the Yankees. That was must watch. That was awesome, honestly. And I think not to slight David Cohn at all, but I think he actually did a better job, to be honest. And so
I can see that. I mean, I'm not surprised.
And it's not that I don't like Cohn, and we know we've talked about this many times.
Cohn's a little boring.
That and almost a little fraudish, I have to say. Because it's like, dude, you work for the Yankees network. You won multiple times with the Yankees, and then you have the audacity to come on and say that really the Mets are good. It's a National League town. It's a Met town.
You're tight.
Well, I mean, I don't know how you say that with a straight face.
Yeah,
honestly,
weird. Maybe he was on one that day.
But I wonder too if it's like the Yankees let him go when he struggled at the end of his career. I wonder if that they didn't take him for pitching coach over Matt Blake. But obviously Blake has worked out.
Interesting, Barnes.
But I think there is something.
Well, he's tight. It's
and
personal.
And why did he take the ESPN position? To do less Yankee games, right? So, but Tony, you would have thoroughly enjoyed Clemens. I mean, don't you think it's good stuff when they bring in as many former players
Clemens.
as possible?
Yeah,
and especially a legend like that. We haven't seen much of Roger.
Fucking stud. Because
And
everybody wants to bring him down.
And it's like,
It's like,
there's
fuck you
guys
guys.
like, I don't know, in the NFL.
Was that talking?
That are
Name's
blackballed and
Michael.
stuff. But it's like, at the end of the day, it's like Bonds too. It's like, I want to hear from these guys. These guys were the best at what they did.
Hey, Barry.
They have a lot to bring to the table.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. Again, like, I don't know. I feel like specifically in baseball too, where there's so much time during a broadcast.
Back steroids.
I mean, the breakdowns. I absolutely just love like breakdowns of the plate, at
home
bat
runs.
breakdowns,
No doubt.
whether
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
pitchers or batters, or just Michael trying to talk over me still as always, dude. It's like great. It's a great time, dude. David Cohn would love that, dude.
You love it, dude.
Dude, you know what I mean? But Cone, if you want to go work for SNY,
Mr. Cone.
go work with Keith
Dude,
Hernandez.
you know what's funny? You said that my dad was saying that to me the other day. He said, Connie's always talking about like the Mets and shit.
Yeah, it's like, dude, I don't care. Cone.
Well, maybe the Yankees shouldn't be such just fucking bores, dude.
Oh,
Who's a
my
bull?
God.
Michael K's a bore, dude.
Is winning boring?
You know what's nice? We didn't talk about this.
Michael
Todd
K.
Frazier on the Yes
Yeah.
coverage. I didn't see anything of it yet, but I don't know if he
Me
worked
neither.
yesterday. But I think that's a great ad.
Yeah.
He's a likable guy.
Yeah.
Very likable. You kidding me?
Tony,
So
you ever met him?
Tom's River.
Tom's River, New Jersey.
But what I was getting at, I'm taking the Astros to bounce back. Former Yankee, actually, Lance Lynn on the hill for Chicago. Up and down year last year after a great year the previous year. I think he'll bounce back somewhat, but I think this is a tough spot because Javier is really good on Houston. I think he'll shut down the White Sox lineup, and I think the hitters are going to be ready. They're going to be jacked up. I think they'll be over Lynn's fastball early. He'll get chased after 3 innings. Javier will strike out double digits over 6. Astros, I'm going to say 7-2. Over the Chicago White Sox.
I think first time in like 10 years, the Astros lost their opening day game.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So pretty crazy. As Indigo comments, yeah. Spiffy
Indigo.
Professor Tony.
There we go.
mean,
So
just
the
wanna fly
last
nowadays, it's not
game
really
here,
crazy.
Tony,
Nah, you're great.
is actually
Thanks,
the
man.
Dodgers
Makes one
and
of us.
Diamondbacks. So that's going to be our common game. I'm kind of interested. I don't know if you want to stab at the underdog because I know you're very kind of not very anti-Dodger, but like you think they've taken a step back. That's all. You do think they've taken a step back. Though. I'm not making it up.
Take a little stab.
Am
at
I
it,
or
Tony.
no?
Do a little stab.
Am I making it up?
No, yes, there's a step back for I think losing Tyler Anderson I think was stupid to be honest. And
Walker
I don't know,
Buehler
dude.
injured,
Walker
obviously.
Buehler, yeah, it's
Kershaw
tough,
another
dude.
year older.
So and I mean I don't know, dude. You kind of like Kelly on the Diamondbacks too.
He is a good pitcher.
But I don't know. Against May though, I mean May's got such electric
Yeah.
stuff, dude.
Yeah,
So
he's gonna bounce back. Maybe a comeback player of the year. He
Oh,
missed a lot of time last year with that injury.
if Brian was in charge of the comeback player of the year award, there'd probably be at least 10 of them.
You know what I'm
Comeback
actually
player-
blanking
This
on?
is like Tortorella tribute video all over again. Comeback player of the year.
No, you know what I'm blanking on, Tony? I remember
Torts.
obviously talking about Rendon from the American League. Who did I say for the National League?
For the Cy
It
Young?
wasn't Syndergaard.
No, because you wanted to pick
Oh.
Syndergaard. Yelich?
yes,
Yelich.
okay, that's what it was.
Yeah.
no,
For
no,
comeback
we're-
player of the year?
Yeah,
Yeah.
two good candidates, right?
Yeah.
But
Good
so
pick,
are
Lawrence.
you thinking Dodgers? You want the Diamondbacks? I mean, what are we talking? Here,
Are we
Tony?
going just like heads up or doing the 3-2-1 thing?
3-2-1?
All right.
No,
so
I was just basically asking, is there a point? Is it even in consideration? Is what I was asking because I wasn't sure.
you're asking me to make my
All
pick
right,
before I
fine,
make a
fine,
picture?
whatever.
Like, come on, dude.
3, 2, 1.
Dodgers.
May is nice though. Honestly, May is. It's kind of ironic too that he's teammates with Syndergaard after it was called Gingergaard. Coming
Yeah,
up. So that is interesting.
because they're gingers, Michael.
But so really the only other thing I wanted to talk about, I guess if we could just sprint, Tony, because I know we're up against it. We got screen time coming up. Sprint to the National Hockey League.
Oh, wow. Sprint, dude.
Here's Matthews. Scores! Hat-trick goal!
My goodness, this is a great shot. Big hit on the far side by McCarr. He flattens Jordan's skull. Oh my goodness.
Next to drop right back. Terrifying and robbed by Shesterkin. That's brilliant from Igor Shesterkin.
It's a breakaway to win it in overtime. McDavid scores the winner in overtime.
Such a pleasure with Matthew wrapping it up here. Great having you again, kid.
Yo, this is like we always say. Like we always say.
Yeah.
I thought he was
Friday.
full of shit.
Tradition.
Oh, you knocked out your XLR, dude. Hit it.
no, but it's
Hit the
tradition.
cable, the cable, the microphone, the back of the microphone, the microphone.
Oh, hello.
He's like, what? My dick.
Well,
What is
at
this,
my-
gaming corner?
Look at my dick.
Yo, I love you guys. We killed it again.
We killed it.
We killed it again.
We killed it again, boys.
We don't need it again, boys.
Again, dude. All right, get out, dude. Go to Norwalk.
So, Tony, what was
Thanks,
your
Matthew.
thoughts
See you
on
later
on the Rangers' piss poor effort against the Devils, losing 2-1 yesterday?
Do that again, Michael?
No.
Do it one more time for me, dude. Bark, dog.
Once and only Devils, baby. I told you guys are gonna lose in the fucking first.
No,
round
it's
or
honestly
the
really
final.
funny because if we see the Devils in the playoffs, it's going to be absolute minced meat
No, it's not.
over there
It's
for the
sad
New
what you think
Jersey
that.
Satanists. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, that's right, dude. You guys worship the anyway. So I mean, look at this game here. Let's get real here. Backs up against it. Brian's getting a little impatient. He's tired. He's gotta
Hungry.
I mean, yesterday was a big day.
Go. Really? So you are tired? Tired and hungry?
Yeah, I would say that's accurate.
I'm sorry, dude. But like Brian said, Rangers fall 2-1 here. The Devils in the Prudential Center. A lot of implications here. Devils could have leapfrogged. The Rangers could have leapfrogged the Devils there in the standings to get third place in the Metropolitan. Of course, they were tied with Toronto as well for third place. So a lot coming into this game. And just looking at this game for what it was like, the atmosphere. I mean, it was basically a playoff game. To start, at the Prudential Center. A lot of Rangers fans love to see that there too. So, the atmosphere is absolutely wild. I was listening to Don McGregor on the call all night. It was a great time. But it really sucked because the Rangers just decided not to show up for the first period. Quite literally some of the worst hockey I've ever seen them play all year. First period of this game, they were getting outshot, outpassed, out hit, out face off, out power play, out penalty, out everything. The only reason why it was only 2-0 at the end of the first was because of Igor Shesterkin absolutely playing some lights out goaltending. Of course, there was a couple plays. Obviously, he could not handle the barrage of shots he was getting from the Devils. But you look at what it was. I honestly wonder.
Yeah. You wonder what? What do you wonder? No, the one thing I understand, like sometimes Michael and Matthew, doing their giggles like across the room. But even if I'm not looking at you, I'm listening, I'm hearing, I can tell you everything you just said.
He really can't.
One of the more inconsistent efforts by the Rangers this year, the way that they come out to allow 2 goals in the first against the Devils. You thought the energy would be up, but it's not. And that's what it is, Tony. And there's no BS excuse for it. It was piss poor. That's why I said it from the start.
I mean, if I was Gerard Gallant, we have a game tonight. But next practice, I mean, after the game, it would have been sprints, honestly, all night. Because it was honestly ridiculous that the Rangers could not show up for the first period of this game. I mean, these are, playoff implications here. You should look at this game as if it were a playoff game. Mm-hmm. And you're just coming out totally flat, just letting the Devils really just skate all over you for that first period. Again, I would like to see the score break, the shot breakdown for that first period. But at the end of the game, Devils ended up out shooting the Rangers 31-25. Hits were pretty much even, faceoffs pretty much even. And kind of recapping some of the scores here. Halla had that first goal in the first period. I believe it was actually a really nice goal. It was clearly a play drawn up from a face-off that they have executed, that they have practiced many times. And obviously, it starts at that point, at the face-off circle. I believe on that line, Hall is a winger. And then I want to say it's not Mercer. Maybe it's McLeod or Hughes in the face-off circle. Anyway, I think Hughes wins that. That face-off. It goes from D to D, and then Dougie Hamilton just rips one at Shesterkin. And unfortunately, you have a Hall kind of crashing at the net, who's able just to kind of tuck it in there. So super impressive stuff in terms of that goal, and then a power play goal towards the end of the first period by Timo Meier. Who else? But again, it was just so demeaning because there was just so many Devils just left in the middle of the ice. No one really picking up any defensive assignments. No communication. No urgency. Really is what the Rangers lacked last night. And that's really going to be a theme of the entire first period. They have no urgency. Of course, you get a second and third period with some lockdown defense, lockdown goaltending from the Rangers, but they obviously cannot just bounce back from that 2-0 deficit. You get a Chris Kreider power play goal, which was kind of lucky because you were playing a sloppy power play. Devils tried to clear it, and I forget who it was tried to clear it, but the puck bounced off of another Devil down low, and Kreider was just there and a wide open net. Like Vitek Vanacek had really no chance. He had a great game too. You knew kind of it was going to be low scoring here too, but I mean, for the Rangers to have really no offense, and again, you got to have the first period. You got to tip your hat to to VTech because the Rangers had so many good opportunities. I mean, that first line was really grooving. Trocheck had some great opportunities. Kane, Tarasenko, Kreider, Panarin, all these guys had great chances. Even Jimmy Vesey had a few too. Just could not convert. And Vanacek was just really on the ball there in terms of stopping pucks. The focus there was real. Again, the Devils are a team that it felt like they showed up. They knew the playoff implications. They know the doubt that's been kind of geared towards them for being a youthful team going into the playoffs for the first time in a while, for the first time for a lot of these career players here. But again, I mean, the Rangers have to do a better job in just coming in and showing up. Literally, that's what it was. If they showed up for this first period and they didn't give up 2 goals, I mean, it would have been an entirely different game. And I think if they had the momentum in the first period, if they won that first period, the Rangers would have easily won this game because they definitely won the second and third periods.
Yeah. Yeah. And honestly, and I don't mean to always be the guy that, takes a negative and makes it a positive, but I think maybe, losing 3 out of 4 to the Devils in their season series this year might only motivate them more. Not that they're already not motivated, but for the playoffs, if they see them again, I think they'll remember these games, remember the things that they did wrong, and obviously, I think a big part here, aggressiveness. You got to outshoot them, don't get outshot, and don't wait till the third period to score your first goal.
Yeah, and I mean, like that first period, they were just struggling to get through the neutral zone.
Right.
And again, it just looked like they were sluggish and uncoordinated and unorganized. And I mean, you have to allude that to a mental game because there's no reason. Again, we know how good the Rangers could be. We've seen how good they are. We've seen them even come back a few times in games like against Carolina and Pittsburgh and stuff like that. But we've seen them come out firing hard against teams like Columbus, like Montreal, Toronto, even too. Like, we've seen them come out of of the locker room first period just like with their heads on straight. So it's like it can be done. It's just like, someone has to rile them up. What's Trouba? What's Gallant doing? Like, they have to be fucking focused, dude. Like, it's as simple as that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't think we want to see anything less than the best out of them, for the rest of this regular season and into the postseason. And now, with that loss, a dead heat with Toronto, I guess they have the tiebreaker at the moment, but you really want to just get that 4 seed. I mean, it
starts tonight, Brian.
It starts tonight against Buffalo, and they're hanging in there, just over 500. You called it from a while ago that they weren't going to make the playoffs, be a competitive team, just obviously part of the depth of the conference. That's why they're find themselves on the outside looking in. They've lost 3 out of 5. Coming into this game, did beat the Devils and the Islanders back to back before losing in a shootout to the Montreal Canadiens. But I think it's simple, even with Halak and net, I think offensively you're looking to get going. And I just think you really, outmatch Buffalo. Other than, maybe Thompson, you might say, he's the best player in this whole game.
But
maybe,
top to bottom, dude. Rangers
top
are much
to
better
bottom,
team.
and especially defensively, they have the advantage. And especially if Luke Kakkonen is going to be in net, or even Anderson and even Comrie. I just feel like they're just a step slow, and they would be lucky to have Jaroslav Halak starting games for them.
But you never thought you would say that, Brian.
Is it that simple, though? Is it just go out, win this game 5-2, and just get the hell out of Buffalo?
Yeah. I mean, again, like, come into this game with some urgency. Buffalo, I think, mathematically can still make the playoffs.
But they're not.
But it's close to 0 chance, right? And they're not going to.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of teams have to lose. They have to win out. So, I mean, yeah, they're still playing for something. But, I mean, again, Rangers come in here with some urgency. Again, like, all they have to do is apply pressure, and Buffalo's going to fold, okay? Rangers are going to have momentum. They're going to have everything going for them, and shots will fly into the net, dude. Like, there's really no reason why there should be a loss. No reason why we should struggle even in the slightest against this team. I mean, like I said, it should be just from the get-go, we're in control, and we play our game. And that's it, dude. Like,
yeah, I don't want to hear it.
And the only way we can lose is if we suck.
Yeah,
okay,
but we're not.
We're not going to lose.
That's it.
We don't suck.
That's it. Case closed.
Consider it handled, Michael.
Consider it handled. Last thing here on the way out. Tony got a leaderboard update at the buzzer yesterday. I know there was a fog delay, which
dude.
Tony so greatly reported yesterday before the close. So some guys, I guess, are actually everybody at this point, I think, has finished their first round. If I'm not mistaken, I guess they finished up earlier this morning. Or a couple guys are near the end of it. But anyway, so as we stand, and they'll be catching up all week, with that delay, some guys I think are teeing off at like 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Right now, Patrick Rogers, who shot 66 in round 1, is 2 under through 3. So he's at 8 under par, tied with the Canadian Corey Connors at 8 under. 3 shots back. You got Chris Kirk, Hayden Buckley, Peter Malnati,
Peter Malnati, baby.
All shot 67 yesterday. So Kirk, once again, near the top of a tournament. And how about, I believe he's 51 years old, Patrick Harrington yesterday, 68. Just was competing in the senior tour last week. So it goes back and forth between the tour, sponsors exemptions, and then, of course, has won the Open Championship before. So he always gets into that major as well as the PGA. What's on it?
Taylor Montgomery, watch out, dude.
Taylor Montgomery, I was going to
weekend
there.
push.
68. Tied for 6, so right in the mix. Ricky, last time I looked, was 1 under par. I just want to see if he is okay. Yep, so 1 under. So right now, looking good. He's on the first hole, starting on the back today. But you want to get another 1 under round and really get in position to contend here on the weekend. Your top 20 there, Tyrrell Hatton, is sitting at 24th. Geez, I could pull it up. I forgot who I had for my top 20.
Oh,
I guess I gotta look it up. Did I say Spieth? I think I did say Spieth.
Yeah, I think
I did. I did say Spieth. Looking on the leaderboard now, I don't believe he is in the. I think he had a poor day yesterday. Wow, I'm going down pretty
blowing
far
it,
here.
dude.
Yeah, wow. It's so bad that I have to just Google his name just to see the score. Isn't that unbelievable, Tony?
That is unbelievable, dude.
All right. So I'm actually tight, Tony. I don't
see him.
No.
Did he like drop out? Like what?
No. Maybe ESPN.com will give it to me. But while I'm looking for this,
I'm trying to look for you here.
I'll take it over. I was gonna say just if you could go through, Tony, what we have coming up. Screen time, 12 Eastern?
Dude, 12 Eastern noon, that is. Okay. It's going to be me and Jay in studio. Manny is videoing in, actually, while he's on assignment. So we got that going for us. Michael will be right where he is right now. Maybe he'll even add more blankets to himself over there. Who knows? A winter hat, perhaps a scarf, as the tundra comes into the studio. But we have a great episode of Screen Time. A lot of trailers to get through. LeBron James movie coming out on Netflix, I believe, called Shooting Stars. I mean, how much do you gag at that, Brian? So despicable. The man's making a movie about himself already. He's still playing. Anyway, recapping Mandalorian episode 5 of season 3 here. It was a very good episode. I know Manny watched this morning, so it's fresh in our minds. I said a couple of the trailers. Wes Anderson's brand new movie coming out. As well as a trailer to White House Plumbers, showing HBO Max, Woody Harrelson, that other guy whose name escapes me, Watergate. There's been a lot going on. Sports, history, movies, all coming to you live on Screen Time at noon, brought to you by Manny Tony J.
Wow. I still can't find Spieth.
Really?
I guess he's not in the tournament. He always plays this tournament, and I swear he was on the list of contenders. I'm just seeing here if it'll show me on his PGA Tour profile. Like what this is like the craziest thing I've ever seen.
This is why fans react to Jordan Spieth facing distractions at Valero. Jordan enormous won in 2021. This is from yesterday, so I mean. Cheering for the star when a volunteer put her arms up and asked everyone to be quiet. Spieth became so he's definitely been playing.
Yeah, I mean, it must not be playing well,
Tournament info, dude.
Oh, let me see here. I might be able to do this. Let's see.
Leaderboard, PGA Tour.
No, I guess he's not playing.
Can I go like by
Yeah, he's not playing. I can't believe that. I don't know. And it's weird. Nothing say he withdraw. I guess maybe I assumed he was in the field and he's not. And that could be my mistake.
That's so crazy though.
Ridiculous.
Sepp Straka.
But
That's
hey,
one.
whatever. We'll see what happens over the weekend.
Yeah.
We don't have time for a full-blown discussion about this, but I think in the future, though, because it's been, think about how long that we've all been doing this here. We haven't really got to have our LeBron discussion. And I was honestly fired up when I heard what you were saying earlier, with the whole Jimmy Butler scenario. But just something I think to watch out for the future. When we have one of those days where not as much to break down, I think we'll have to get into more in depth about just kind of directly why you guys have no idea what you're talking about.
Make sure you bring your own blanket because it's going to be cold in here that day.
But a great episode,
amazing episode
of Screen Time coming up, and a great episode today. Really, enjoyed talking over, baseball, golf,
talking over
hockey
me
with you guys. Tony, you had a big Mets breakdown. You're acting like you didn't get any airtime.
Yeah, no, it's great.
No, and especially I think they were talking over you more than I was today.
I'm just busting balls.
No,
Right
but
now,
I'm just
dude.
am I wrong there?
No,
I
mean,
was giving you your due. I was trying to say
no, definitely them two more than you. Yes.
Yeah, all right. Because I heard what you said yesterday, like I said earlier. So
What did I say yesterday?
I guess I always talk over you, supposedly.
Did I say that yesterday?
Yeah, you did say
Yeah.
that.
Really?
I mean, you said it, not me.
That's
Right?
funny as hell, dude.
But all good stuff. And I'm looking forward to Screen Time, of course. And I'm looking forward to seeing all of you guys again on Sunday. There's going to be a lot of footage coming to you from Yankee Stadium. So definitely look out for that.
Yeah.
But once again, appreciate everybody tuning in, continuing to comment, like, and subscribe, checking out the archives on the YouTube page, Tony, Michael, Renee, and Costume, all of our past episodes of Screen Time, Sportsport, The Dream is Free, our vlog series, Gaming Corner, just to name a couple things. Definitely go check those out. Definitely go spread the word. We want to hear from you guys. Any new topics that we're not talking about right now that you guys want to talk about, definitely let us know because we'd be happy to go over anything that you like. And we really want you to check out the merch at downtimetv.com. Spring is in the air. The azaleas from Augusta National, the fake bird chirps.
How ridiculous is that?
And almost, I want to say, I don't know if I can pull it off, but I'm going to try to talk in my Augusta National voice as much as I can for Tony next week.
I
I
can't
know
wait.
how he appreciates that. Coming to you from the first tee. But what a week. Another great week coming up. Definitely we'll see you guys on Screen Time. We'll see you here on Sportsport on Monday. We want everybody to enjoy the games. Enjoy Screen Time. I'll see you Sunday. We'll see you on Monday.
Let's go, Mets Rangers.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.